All right. Shout out to Full Circle Wealth, man. We're doing Wealth Wednesdays today. A little different today, man. It's your boy Official Go Getter and Flash. You can go ahead, man.
Yo, it's your boy Flash. You know how we coming today? Or shit, you will soon. Watch, got some nice coming. Let's get to it. Let's get to
Let's
it.
get to it. We're
I'm
gonna get
excited.
to it, man. First things first, man. Let me pop this screen open. Um, Let me pop this screen open. And if you end up wanting to share your screen, bro, you feel free to share your screen. We can hop on your screen too if you pull something up. But we just gonna
Good, all
start
good.
with we gonna start with let's start with the markets today, man. Let's start with the markets. We ain't gave you guys our market update, our market outlook. Flash, I'm gonna have you, man, do the honors of going ahead, man. Actually, pull up your screen first so you can start. You want to start with the Bitcoin and the cryptos and whatnot, brother.
Let's see what we're talking about. Let's see what we're talking about. You gonna put me on the spot, huh? I
Yeah,
got
I
you.
would just go ahead and put you on the spot, man. They want to hear about the
Let me
Bitcoin
see.
first. They want to hear about the coins. They want to hear about the coins, and then we can talk about the coins, the stocks, man. We can head to CNBC, look through the news a little bit.
Let me.
You guys is just this is just you guys get to see the behind the scenes of what me and Flask have been working on, right? Just of how we work together, all of it, right? This is full circle wealth getting personal. In the meantime, right here, actually, matter of fact, I could do it right here. I can do spy right here while you're getting yourself set up because I don't gotta share the screen on the Discord. So right now, we'll just break down SPY real quick, man. If you don't know why we're looking at SPY, SPY is the S&P 500, man. This is the makeup of the top 500 companies that are on the market, right, in the U.S., right? So today, right, we're on the hour time frame. Today on the hour time frame, let me get this out of here. I'll explain to you what these lines mean in a minute. But these bars that I have right here, they represent the hour time frame. Hour time frame. So you can see today we started off at what was that 6:30 a.m. today. 6:30 a.m. today. We opened up at 6:42. Right, we ended up moving down until we got to 11:30 a.m. Right, we got to 6:41 at 11:30 a.m. But then we shot right back up past where we opened up at, and we closed today at 6:43, almost 6:44. Right, so we ended up having a good pop at the end. Um, I'm actually not too quite sure where that pop came from. Right, we could figure that out. S&P 500 retreats as record highs. Tech stop slip on earnings jitters. Go ahead to CNBC and see what we got going on at CNBC. This is how I usually do research. Right, you guys just catching up with the markets with us right here. CNBC.com. I got the favorites right here, actually. I'm sure. Oh no, they're gone. CNBC.com right here, man. So right here on CNBC, man, you got the homepage right here. Usually I'm looking for the trending now, right? They always come at you with a market close story or a market close summary, and that's what we're looking for right here. So go to markets, US markets. That's not where I want to go. Homepage. So right here on the home page, you see stock futures are a little changed after Alphabet rally boost S&P 500. So this is how we get our answers, right? So we was wondering where that rally and where that boost came from at the end of the day today, right at 12:30 at that last hour in the market. Let me delete this, get it up out of here. But as you can see, once again, right, we was going down all day. Then we had that pop at the end, and it came from Google, right? So because Google had a good day today, right, going through some antitrust laws that ended up not hitting them as hard as people thought. What else happened? Right here, TradingView will give you the updates right here. It says Alphabet shares reached a record high following a significant increase after the company avoided severe antitrust penalties, right? So that's what we had happen today, positively impacting the S&P 500 and the NASDAQ indices, right? Alphabet legal win could boost its market value by 144 billion to 2.56 trillion, right? They're sitting almost to that 3 trillion mark, right? Enhancing its partnership with Apple and paving the way for Gemini AI and future iPhones. Okay, so you got Apple and Google. Ain't that crazy? You hear that? You hear that, Flash?
That is crazy.
That is some crazy stuff. So you got Alphabet, and which is Google, and then you got Apple enhancing its partnership and paving the way for Gemini AI, right? So you'll have the Google AI Gemini in future iPhones. That's something big, real big. So a judge has issued a remedies decision in the Department of Justice antitrust case against Google LLC, imposing limits on the company's service distribution related to its online search practices. And we can see today it gapped up from 212 and closed at 231, which is a 10% gain overnight, right? Great play right there if anybody was in some options contracts, right? So that's just a little, not only an update on the market, but it gives you an insight on how I go about my updates on the market, right? And how I go about doing my research to make the best decisions, right? To stay afloat, right? We also got Apple. So because we know Google benefit, you already know that Apple benefit, right? Those are the two companies that they said was working together, right? Google had almost a 10% gain overnight. Apple with the 4% gain overnight. But Apple has been going crazy since this bottom out in what does that say right there? Sorry, let me move my computer. In August. So Apple had a bottom out at $200 in August, right? I remember that. And since that bottom, we're at 238 now. So if you want to get the percentages since August to now, that's 17%, right? So you got a 17% gain, right? That's a good gain on Apple, right? Good gain on Apple, right? So that's just a little bit of stock talk right there, man. I'm gonna let Flash take over. You ready, bro, to talk about the crypto talk, my man?
Yeah, man. Let's get into it. I know
Yeah.
you said you wanted that Bitcoin first, but I gotta come XRP first, man.
Hey,
You know how I feel about it, bro. Let me
I hear you.
let me see. Let me real quick. Does it matter what resolution the frame rate is on? Will it mess up the stream?
No, we should be good.
Okay, okay. All right. Yeah, so bang, we got. Let me go to the hourly. We got XRP right here, right? And we see that it's looking real volatile. You see, it's a lot of movement up and down path, right? And it's really there's a lot going on within the crypto market, right? There's a lot of money coming in and out of it rapidly, especially based off of news as well. But XRP recently has came out with they've partnered with let me see, it was Gemini. They partnered with Gemini and MasterCard to come up with a credit card that pays you back with XRP, right? And so it's like one of those things that it's a big move. This is a crypto, right? What world do we live in where you can get a crypto or a credit card and the cash back that you receive is not cash back like credit, right? It is crypto. And so yeah, that's breaking that. That's pretty crazy. Just like the with the stuff that you were just talking about. That's pretty wild.
For sure, for sure.
Like that's yeah,
We
getting
about to be
into it.
using XRP in the stores.
Right.
We're getting to that
It
time.
literally as a no, literally it's a credit card, right? So they give you actually let me pull something up where it says but they give you the rates on the cashback for the MasterCard. Let me see because I think it was like 4%. For gas, I don't know. Let me see. Just a second. 4%, 4% for gas. It was 3% for let me just see. I don't even want to keep throwing numbers. Let me see. We can go to the actual website, but there was a picture that I saw.
Oh snap! It probably only showing this window, the trading
Oh,
view window.
yeah, you're right. You're right. Hold on. My fault. My fault.
No, you all good. I thought you was doing it on purpose at first until now.
Let me see right here. Right, we click on this right here. Oh, I can't make it bigger, but you see right here, gas 4%, right? I don't know what that says. This says groceries 2%, everything. So regardless, you even spending money on this credit card will give you cash back, and it's XRP that you receive. And so let's just say I don't know. We have a $5 XRP, right? We double in price. Then you're the cash back that you receive goes up. This is not this is new, right? You can't really this says dining 3%. You can't do that with anything else, right? So it's like that's you're getting crypto back for your purchases. That's the ultimate win right there. You can't lose. It's kind of like stacking it, right?
Right.
But you're doing it. You're in control of the stack. You can choose where you spend your how much gas you get and you pay with them, and it's a credit card, right? So not only does it give you crypto, it boosts your credit in some form, right? Like you being on time, whatever the case may be. So yeah, that's the overall breakdown for XRP right now. We see price back to the chart. Oh, let me change it back if you can't see. Bang, back to the chart. You see, we got the highs sitting up here at the recent highs. This was July. Recent highs, we got them sitting up at around $3.60. Right, and prices at 280, right? 284 right now, each XRP. And so we're kind of in a looking at this back here, kind of in the middle trend, right? So it's kind of I don't have a specific indicator that would let me know when it's about to blast off, right? I could make an analysis, but that is neither here or there right now. Yeah, we're right in the middle ground between highs and lows. It could there's no really this is a perfect chance to buy is what I'm saying is you could get you a good amount of XRP under $3. I feel like that's a bit of a discount, especially because we were sitting up here for so long. This is back in let me see, right at $3. We hit $3 back in July, for the first time in a while, and sat there until shit July. But this is this is the beginning of July right here, or actually it's 2 weeks. We're sitting pretty high in the $3 range for a good amount of time, coming back into it, bouncing out, coming back into it. So yeah, we're just under $3. I feel like it would be a perfect time to buy.
Mm-hmm.
And
I
yeah, that will
agree.
be the breakdown on the XRP real quick. Just give you just like Official Go Getter said, just a quick breakdown of how to analyze the chart and what the market is looking like currently.
Yeah, man. Where do you usually go to get your crypto information, man?
So specifically for this, I grabbed it. Honestly, there's a lot of websites, right? I'm gonna give up too much sauce, right? But let me give a good one real quick. Hold on. Go to the bookmarks. I want to give up too much sauce. Let me see. Let me see. A good place that really gives quality information usually always is it's funny name. It's called Crypto Potato. And they usually they come down. I have them as a newsletter. I get emails from them guys on top of plenty of other sites. I'm gonna tell you one more, CoinDesk as well. I'm pretty sure that's where a lot of people go for their mainstream crypto news most of the time, right? So yeah, when we're talking mainstream, um, yeah, talking mainstream, CoinDesk is absolutely one of those places, as well as finance. No, that one. They be doing a little bit too much on there. Cointelegraph, that one right there, those three right there that I had given. Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, and Crypto Potato. Those three right there. Those are pretty good, reliable spaces to get information from, especially when it's talking about XRP and XRP partners, even Bitcoin as well.
Hey, y'all heard it here first. It's, CoinDesk. Um, I forgot the other ones.
It's CoinDesk, Cointelegraph, and Crypto Potato.
All right, CoinDesk, Crypto Potato, and Cointelegraph.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see. All right, all right, all right. All right, we have talked about the stocks, talked about the crypto, man. Now we get into a little bit of just little miscellaneous stuff, man. I'm gonna share the screen and
Yeah.
we just gonna get into some miscellaneous. You guys get to see how we pick each other's brain, how our brain operates, all of it. What should we get into, man? Let's see. I'm on Google. You can
I
see
see
my
that it
screen.
said yeah. Let me see what you finna do. Let me see how you finna serve it.
I was just finna go to Google. We can go from there. We can either look some stuff up. Um, I was thinking of some chat prompts, maybe. You know what?
Yeah, it in the rule book says mindset story, right? I could give a perfect example, and then you could speak your truth.
Go ahead. What you feeling like?
Bang. So just as off of the places where we've either worked in the past or just interacted with, right? Google. We're in the space of being in the same area as a lot of people within the tech industry, right? And just trying to get a little bit of game from, those types of people when it comes to software engineering and, talking to the right people and being in that mental space of higher functioning tech engineers. It's like, what I'm saying? It's very inspiring, right? And it feels amazing because it's something that, as a group we're looking into, and it's getting a lot easier to be in these types of environments. It wasn't before, but it's like one of those things. I'm in a place where I don't know if, I don't know specifically, but new place type deal. So yeah, just being comfortable with being in the same space as software engineers and tech engineers as a whole. If you wanted to shed some light on that,
Yeah.
on your experience.
Yeah. If you guys don't already know, man, you guys don't know at all, man. We are branching into tech, but not only are we branching into tech and understanding what's going on with software, we both work security. Flash happens to work at Google security building, corporate building. I happen to work at the Apple corporate building, right? And truthfully, I think this is a perfect example of us aligning our 9 to 5 jobs with what it is that we actually want to do, right? A lot of people, when it comes down to working, right, they either, and I've gone through this, and I think I know you have before, like, you know, going from that mindset of having your job feel like it's separate from who you're trying to become, right? Instead of finding that job that aligns with who you're trying to become. And we found some dope jobs, some dope gigs, right? We're around the energy that we're trying to, you know, elevate to, right? So around people who understand tech and software and know how to code and know how to build software products and are just in corporate buildings working professionally, right? So even though we haven't gone to school to get that degree to work in the professional building, right, we positioned ourselves around those people while we're building what we're building, right? Building business, building products, right? Investing, right? We're investors into the companies that we already work for, right? So it's a perfect example that I think you guys could perfect example that I think you guys should hear on not letting your 9 to 5 job define who you are really, and finding something that aligns with who you are and who you're trying to become, right? Because at the end of the day, at some point you got to work, right? But it's about using that work as a stepping stone, truly as a stepping stone, and while you're at work, having it sharpen you into something that you're trying to get to in the future. So that's a little bit of backstory. And as far as how I feel about it, kind of similar to what you said, right? It's you put yourself in those environments, man, and you naturally elevate, right? You get more comfortable. You start thinking differently. You start maybe presenting yourself differently. Maybe thinking about how. Not only that, I think the most important thing is that you realize that they're people the way you are, and it's not as far fetched as you think. It makes what your dream is tangible once you put yourself in that environment. I don't want to ramble too much, but that's really what I want to say.
I feel that absolutely.
Yeah, bro. Because I mean, at the end of the day, when you're at a job, man, you're there for 8 hours, 12 hours, right? If you're picking up overtime, I mean, I'm trying to get at the point that you're spending a lot of time there, right? And we finally found something that doesn't drain us and fuels us for the purpose. And if there's any advice that I could give out of this, is honestly, right now, I wish I would have did this earlier. Like, I wish, instead of me learning now, I'm not regretting anything. But if somebody is listening to this and you want to be an entrepreneur and you're still working, find something that would help you and literally fuel you to your entrepreneur goals. Find a job that'll get you there, the closest thing you can, and you won't feel like you're dreading work. What kind of advice would you give?
I liked what you said when you were saying, don't. These are regular people, right? Not specifically. Yeah, yeah, yeah. These are regular people just like you. So it's not far. It's very tangible, and it's you know it, you can do anything you really put your mind to. I know that that's probably hella cliche, right? But in actuality, you really can. And so just being in that same space, you know what I'm saying, and being comfortable within the space, it's only a matter of time for the both of us, right?
Mm-hmm.
As well as someone that would be trying to work or even in that space on their own, right? It's like, you know, there ain't nothing to be ashamed of at all. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, for
It
real.
works your way. And one more thing, my fault. Like another advice is like you have a lot of time there too. So you're spending a lot of time there, including overtime. Just like why not do something that you to right? So it's gonna call this right. You want to build software, you go to the main of software, right? That's just how at a restaurant.
Recording was paused for a second. Sorry. Um, for somebody who's listening out there, long story short, it's important that you do adapt. Very important that you adapt, as we're adapting to not only just staying in the bubble of traders and investors and getting into the bubble of tech, right? And soon, what is it, to September 3rd, by the end of this month for sure, probably within the next few Wealth Wednesdays, probably give it like 2-3 Wealth Wednesdays, we'll be able to have a product, something that we've been working on for you guys, right? And you'll be able to use it, we'll be able to drop it. But it's important that you adapt, for real. Don't stay stuck into your bubble, right? If we would have just stayed stuck
Right.
into our bubble, it we was talking about that. We talked about that the last few weeks. That's literally been why we've been MIA, right? Trying not to be boxed in, right? Trying to really take advantage of the time period that we in, man, because yes, Bitcoin, stocks, investing is very crucial. Like, the next 5 years, we know that the world is changing and you have to be able to adapt and take advantage of that. But it gets deeper than that as well, right? And we want to make sure that not only are we caught up, but you guys are caught up. So we're doing our due diligence to you know, actually, I want to ask you that too. So how have you felt during this period of, us being kind of MIA, but going through this transition of who we are, adapting?
Yeah.
How have you felt? Break it down to me.
Just specifically like being in that mindset of learning something, right? So when you're first starting out, things, are not, they don't have to be challenging at all, but this, you're learning something new. So there's things and terms and stuff like that you need to know and figure out. So I just been in that mode of just trying to understand, right? Just being a sponge, right? And that's just being able to, squeeze out the water in the right places, just making sure that, all the information is not only correct, but I have something to show for it as well. So it just, yeah, it feels I I'm a sponge currently, right? I feel like learning, right, and being knowledgeable, gaining knowledge as well.
Right. No, that's how I feel too. And it takes a lot of being able to humble yourself. I think that's important too, especially with the phase that we're in. I mean, knowing so much about what we know about stocks and crypto and how long we've been in this game, to humble ourselves in the tech game and the software game. I mean, we're literally, we know a lot about one field, but then we got to go to another and listen to somebody who knows a lot about that specific field and tell ourselves, hey, humble yourself. Let this person just learn. Be a sponge. I have no, like, no matter who I meet right now, like, I just found out the other day what the right terminology, basically what the word programmer means, right? So I didn't know programmer had anything to do with coding, right? So, but I was talking to the janitor at my job, now thinking about it, right? And that's another thing about this vicinity and putting yourself in that environment. Just the environment itself, right? It upgrades everybody. So it goes from even the janitor at that environment is on a higher level than the janitor at another environment per se that is lower level, right? But the janitor was somebody who's our age, 22, right? Been a janitor for a minute, but he's been a programmer for 8 years. I'm like, does that have anything to do with coding? He's like, man, programming is coding. But he gave me a whole rundown of all the different languages. I found out that Apple has their own coding language called Swift. Did you know that? I didn't even know that.
I didn't know that. My fault, bro. I'm dealing with something real
No,
quick.
you're
Go
good.
ahead.
No,
I'm
you're
still
good.
listening now.
But yeah, I found out Apple has their own programming language, Swift. And I kind of lost my train of thought, but yeah, you can learn from anybody. Humbling yourself. That was where I got humbling yourself. It's important to humble yourself when as you're learning and going through this process of learning. But we got this to finish off, man. We got this. I asked ChatGPT to finish us off with a thought-provoking topic for the audience, right? So here's a thought-provoking topic that we can drop on a live right now, right? So what's more dangerous, living without a vision or living with the wrong vision, right?
Ooh,
So, without a vision, people drift, people settle, and they let life happen to them. But with the wrong vision, people can waste years climbing the wrong mountain, chasing success that does not fulfill them. Chat says the real challenge learning how to align vision with purpose and having the courage to adjust when you realize you're on the wrong path. Isn't that's kind of what we was just talking about? I'm gonna let you go ahead and
yeah,
speak first, though, brother.
yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah, I couldn't say it any better. Took the
Yeah,
words out of my mouth. Literally, it's yeah, yeah.
yeah, nah, yeah. Without a vision, people they drift, they settle, right? Literally, what it says, you just end up coasting day to day life. Those are the people who go to work, come back, watch the TV, go to bed, wake up, do the same thing, and they
Right.
live for the weekend, right?
You can't wait till Saturday.
They can literally they're downtown at Capitol Hill every Saturday, waiting on it.
Right. That Friday night. Ooh, they can't wait to get off.
Oh, and I think don't both of us work on the weekends? Am I wrong?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
So look, we
All
both
day too.
we work both on the weekends, not missing anything on a Saturday, right? Um, but that's a perfect example of drifters versus people with vision, right? If we, yeah, honestly, I'd rather have the wrong vision, man, because at least you're doing something, right? You can waste years climbing the wrong mountains and chasing success that doesn't fulfill them, but even that's really bad. So, like Chad said, I wholeheartedly agree. you got to find that perfect balance, man. You got to be able to adapt, like we was talking about. Like you got to be able to say, literally, I know stocks and crypto, but man, if I want to keep growing and get to the next level, I need to know more, right? So how can I humble myself and pivot? So ask yourselves right now, anybody who's listening to this, right? Anybody who tunes in with Full Circle Wealth and is a part of the community, right? How can you pivot in your own life? How can you adapt to make sure that you're not only keeping up with the times but staying ahead, man, staying ahead, right? And not letting not tying yourself to something too much, being able to pivot. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, find the thing that does work. Cause that's what life is about. But
Right.
you got anything else you want to say before we close out, man?
Tell him, ask him one more thing, low key, because you done came hard with the points, man. Let me get a question too.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
For the viewers and stuff, but
nah, you're
you know,
good. Nah, yeah. This is it too.
right. Let me close the chat real quick. Do you
This.
think discipline creates freedom or freedom creates discipline? This is a good one because, excuse me, this is a good one because, I mean, depending on who you are, like say we use your example, right? And we say, say your advice, right? And you said, using your time wisely.
Mm-hmm.
That freedom could absolutely build discipline in the right cases, right? But when it comes to somebody that's trying to figure out like the same person that isn't managing their time, then it's like you have to create that discipline in order to be free, right? Like you see what I'm saying? Like it if you come up with the right systems and you do what you need to do while you have the time to do it, then you will have the freedom just based off the discipline on its own, getting the stuff that you don't want to do out of the way. So that's kind of like a slippery slope a little bit. I think I would yeah, I would, yeah.
I
Oh,
agree.
and then he broke down some sauce. Let me read that real quick. It says some argue discipline fuels the habits that lead to their true freedoms, right? Others feel freedom gives space to choose and then build discipline. Absolutely. It challenges the audience to reflect on whether they value structure first or choice first. Okay. So now saying that, right? So like I guess a question, right, that made me think of what I thought of right then and there was which is more important, what what you should do or what you could do, right? Because that's kind of how I interpret that question as well,
Yeah.
based off the last sentence. It's like, yeah,
Yeah, no, that's a perfect way to put it. What you should do versus what you could do, and yeah, that's the perfect way to put it. And
yeah, that was a good question, man.
it's that balance. It's that balance, but
Absolutely.
having I guess it's having more should do's over could do's, right?
Right. Yeah.
Or earn using the should do's to earn the could do's. So yeah, that is a good question. Do you think discipline creates freedom or freedom creates discipline? Right? Because well, freedom creating discipline. How do you visualize that? Freedom creating discipline. What does that look like?
Kind of like basing it off of what Chad had said. He was saying like, the others feel freedom gives you space to choose, right, and exactly where to be disciplined at. So say you had all day to think, right? You're not going to work. You don't have any like hobbies or no bills or anything that you not. Anyways,
Oh,
you
I
have
see.
a lot of time, right? And so at that point, you could, do I want to do a puzzle today or something, right? Do I want to work and configure my critical thinking skills, right? Play
Mm-hmm.
contexto or something, like what? That's a that's what I could do, right? But see, just like you said, though, it kind of plays. I see why you had asked that. Like, what does that look like? Because yeah,
Nah, thank you for
it's
clearing
like
that
should
up.
do, could do.
Cause yeah, literally, cause you know it's the difference between the person who's saying I'm gonna wait until I get 100,000 to change my life, but instead of the person who's
Right.
saying I'm gonna make sure I got the habits right now that will get me to 100,000.
Right.
Both
Kind of like,
technically, both technically are right, low key. I
yeah,
mean, if you want to get technical, because if you got more time, you
they kind of coexist with each other.
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But the longevity, I say, is the person who was disciplined before they even had the time.
Right. 100%. Like the logical way, right? The smart way to go about things and what you should do to want to make that change in your life is absolutely discipline first
Yeah.
before freedom. You'll tend to get lackadaisical
Because then
after a
they
certain amount
say,
of time.
then that saying of money amplifies who you are doesn't really change you. It amplifies who you already are. That's when that comes into play. Because if you're already
Yeah.
somebody who don't got the habits, then you get some money.
Mhm. I
Instead
hear
of
that. Come on.
instead of you going to spend $30 on going to the smoothie juice place to get you a $30 fast, whatever the case may
Right.
be, you spending $30 a day on fast food now.
Might be coming up to the last couple bucks, right? There ain't we ain't making no money. You know what I'm saying? It gets tough.
Yeah. So, yeah, no, those are some good questions from chat, man. But um, I think that was a good way to finish it off. I really don't have much else to say. What you got before I close it out?
Yeah, man. Nah, nothing me either, honestly. I was
You know,
finna start rambling.
I hear you. I could show you guys this code, but we got some. We gonna wait. We gonna wait for
Right, yeah.
another few
That's it. That's
sessions.
it. That's the sneaky. You feel me?
That's the sneaky, you feel me, man. But just know that we got it coming for you guys, right?
Right.
It's your boy Fish Go Getter. It's your boy Flash, man. We full circle wealth, right? This is our Wealth Wednesdays. We did it a little different. We still behind the scenes. We working, man. But we just wanted to touch base with you guys. Yeah, we'll be back every Wednesday. Even if we'll be back every
Yeah.
Wednesday. We cooking, man. But you guys have a good night. Um, catch the playback.